Hello and welcome to this video where I venture into the heart of Copenhagen with the Sigma 16mm 1.4 paired with the good old trusty Sony a6000. This 9 or 10-year-old camera which I really enjoy shooting with. So I did another 16mm Sigma POV Street photography video some time ago, and although I got some decent shots on this walk, I still think it's a bit challenging to use this focal length for me, because I really like shooting street photography with longer lenses. Anyway, you have to push yourself, so I thought this was a great opportunity to go out in the spring sun. And I thought that the more narrow streets of downtown Copenhagen could be a great scenery and match for this lens setup. So here I have just ventured out of my apartment, and here we have a huge square which is really nice in real life, but on picture you kind of need some sort of subject, if you ask me, to make this big scene interesting in some way. So I spotted the flowers over here, and I thought that I could use these as a foreground element to add some depth to the scene. So we waited a bit, and I took these two photos, and I kind of liked the framing a little bit better on the second one here. This photo is more of an architecture photo, and I just really like the colors and the details on the building, and I'm trying to frame this in a symmetrical way. So this car was special, I think, but I never figured out a way to get a real good shot of it, even though I tried some different shots. And I've walked by here many times, and I really like the symmetry and texture of this building here with the Vertex sign. And as I walked away, I got this shot as well, which I think is the best one of the building here. So on the ground here, I was really drawn by the shadow that it's leading towards the building, but I couldn't get it to work as I imagined. So the little building here is the smallest hotel in the world. At least that is how the story goes. It only has one room. I think going down here and shooting upwards helps to emphasize the quirkiness of the building. And again, we wait for some subjects to walk in front, and then I think we have a pretty interesting shot. So I was walking from my apartment, as I said, at Vesterbro towards the city center of Copenhagen, and the walk had a lot of bigger streets which I found really hard to photograph with such a wide lens as the 16mm. So I let a lot of these images out because I wasn't really fond of the results. The building here is also very pretty, and I really wanted a subject on the street to spice it up. So we used the rule of thirds and we wait, and here we have a bike coming in, and I think this is pretty decent as well with the bike in the sun. Here we have a theater, and I bike this way many times. And it could be nice with a subject as well in the entrance and with the beautiful building in the background. So the shadows and light inside this hallway lured me to go inside. With the harsh sun outside, it was very contrasty, but I think some of these images are pretty cool with these kind of silhouette subjects. Also, I tried to use the sun coming into the space here and frame some persons inside of them. This is also a pretty scene with the spire here. I photographed this before, so I tried to get another perspective by using the trailer as a foreground element and also by shooting it from the ground. So as I mentioned, for street photography like this, I think this 16mm is a bit too wide for my taste. So just to let you know, many of these photos that I'm showing here are heavily cropped. And I really think that you can give many bad photos a new chance by reframing and cropping them in. And I definitely think this is an important skill to have if you want to get good at photography. This is a very distracting area, but I still think it is possible to find some interesting frames here if you look for it. For instance, I saw these holes in the brick fence that could be used to frame the colorful building here behind. And if you don't know, this is called Palace and is a very old movie theater that still shows a movie today. And again here, a symmetry shot with a bike in the sun and using the golden rule, again with the subject here in the spot from the rules of third. The train station here is also pretty cool, and it casts some interesting shadows on the ground. And yeah, I waited around a bit to see if I could get a subject as well to make the photo a bit more interesting. So we passed the city square by now, and I'm finally heading into an area where the wide focal length might be handy. Did you notice I removed the blue sign here in post? There are a lot of street signs in Denmark that really pollute the photos, and I think it is worth removing these in post sometime. I would have loved some more reach on the girl here smoking, but she is standing really nicely here in the sun. Using frames like doorways or windows can also work great for photos like this. So we're coming up to one of my favorite shots here from this little walk with the red scooter here. I just really like this scene. I think it works out really well. Again, I'm trying to use the sun and the door as a frame. I was just a bit unlucky with all the people crossing at the same time and a car driving into the frame. But I think you can get the point of my intention here. I guess this was a shot where I actually could have used a wider lens, or I could have used my lens stacking method, but I didn't. This is a nice scene as well. Unfortunately, I have the two persons here a bit too far to the side. Again, with this shot here, I really needed a person just in the sun here around the corner. That would have been really nice. The way the sun reflects on the windows and hit the street is really pretty, I think.
Every pursuit I had that was selfish, had to go out the window. Hey, deliver like river, content a little more thicker, slicker. What you get is what you get from the world, and the universe love a child.
Unfortunately, the battery dies now. So if you found this shoot interesting or motivating in any way, please make sure to support the channel by leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more of these kind of videos. I will see you around, guys. Bye bye.